let's make a desire line and a flow line using ArcGIS. So just to remind you, a desire line shows movement of something, people or products or anything really, but it's got to be in a straight line. So a desire line is a straight line. You'll also notice these are proportional, so the thicker the line shows a higher data value. This is in contrast to a flow line. So a flow line is wiggly and it shows the exact route of movement. So here you can see Paris, and again they're proportional. The thickness shows the data value, but they are the exact route. So flow line is the exact route, and then a straight line is called a desire line, and ArcGIS can do both of these. So I've got some data here. My left-hand spreadsheet is a comma separated value file, a CSV file. When you save your data, don't save it as an Excel file, save it as a CSV file. So both files are CSV files. Okay. Now the file on the left is called origins. So I've got 9 different places around the UK. I found the Latin long for 9 places. I was in Reading and I interviewed people and said, where have you come from today? And there were 9 different places that they came from. In Google Maps, I just left clicked and I got the Latin long for each place, and then I counted how many people came from those places. And the right hand spreadsheet is called destinations, and again I've got the same data. Okay, that's the same amount of people as the left column, left spreadsheet, and it's got the same ID, but what's different is the Latin long. Okay, all of those Latin longs are Reading. Okay, so what I need to do is upload those into ArcGIS. So in ArcGIS, if I click on layers on the left, add layer from file, and then find my first spreadsheet. It doesn't matter which one. Next, create a layer. Next for the next screen, but then it doesn't recognize my locations. So I need to click and tell it I've got Latin long data. And I don't think it recognized my data because my column headings, if you remember, I put 2 lat and 2 long, not latitude, longitude. So maybe it would have worked it out if I had. And then create and add to map. So it's now adding that data as a layer onto the UK. It'll be a very dull map because all it's showing is, well, it's actually 9 dots there that are Reading. So let's add some more data. Add layer from file. Now I need to find my origins. Yep, that's my other spreadsheet. And again, next, and then help it out with the Latin long. So my first is from lat and from long. There are my column headings, and again, create a layer. So now I've got 2 layers on the spreadsheet. In a second, we shall see. And it's not a very exciting map yet. I've not got my desire lines or my flow lines going yet. Okay, and I'll close that. And there you'll see on the left-hand side, these are my layers. I've got origins and destinations. And I've got my 9 dots and then my Reading dot there in the middle. So I'm going to use the analysis button to connect my 2 layers. And we've done this before in another video with choropleth mapping. If you've not got an analysis button, you need to have a certain permission. I think it's publisher. You need to have a publisher permission, not student or just a bog standard one. So ask the person who runs the ArcGIS in your school, and they will have to add that button. Okay, let me just get rid of these because I've done it before. So we click analysis, and then it's the hammer tools. And then after the hammer, we go down a little bit to use proximity. So just to recap, it's analysis, then the hammer for tools, scroll down, use proximity, and then the final tab is calculate travel cost, which seems a bit of a strange one, doesn't it? But if I hover on the sentence, it says this tool was previously called connect origins to destinations. Now that would have made way more sense, wouldn't it? But hey ho, it's called calculate travel cost. Okay, the first choice, it's saying which layers do you want to combine. So the from layer is my origins, the to layer is my destinations. Scroll down. Now it's saying give me the name of 2 of your columns in Excel, in CSV, that are identical. So I'm going to tell it my IDs are the same. IDs 1 to 9 are the same. And I'm going to leave it on driving time, okay, because I want to make a flow line. But I don't want a straight line for a flow line, I want streets. So I want to drive along the streets, and it will be wiggly, and it will show me exactly the way these people came. And then I want an output name, and this is my flow. I'm just going to call it Flow 2025. Okay, and click Run. And then that will run in the background. It'll take about 30 seconds, so I'll let that run there. I can click on the clock and watch it. But while we're here, let's create a desire line as well. So back to Tools, leave everything as it is because you've put everything in. But in these settings in the middle, change driving time to line distance. And there are no other things to change there, it's just line. But I'm going to change my flow to desire and then click Run. Okay, let's go back to the clock. And again, that's whirring away in the distance in the background. So this will take 30 seconds to a minute, depending on how much data you're putting in, your internet speed, your laptop speed, I guess. But it's going to add 2 more layers onto that left-hand menu where I've got layers already. Okay, and they will be my lines. They'll look really good, but I can actually play around with them a little bit and make sure they're as effective as I want. So there's one done already. It's just coloured them randomly. There are 9 different lines, and it's coloured them randomly. So that is my flow line. That shows the exact route of where people came to get to Reading. I can zoom in and out. My second one's done. I'm going to close the history. And it's a bit confusing with them on the same map, isn't it? So on the left, look, I can click on the eyes and I can change them over. So there's my desire line with straight lines. And let's change them over. And there's my flow line with the exact route. Okay, let's start off with a desire line. Now, I'm going to try and make all these the same color. So let's go to Styles. And then on Styles, I'm going to just scroll down a little bit to Location or Single Symbol. Click on that, and there we go. Perfect. They're all the same color. If I go into Style Options, I can actually change the color to red, and I can make them a little bit thicker if I want to. And I can actually put an arrowhead on them. Okay, not sure how effective that'll be from this distance. I might need to zoom in. You can see there the arrowheads all on Reading. And then I can click Done, and then Done again. Okay, so there is my desire lines that show everybody coming into Reading, but they're not proportional at the moment. Okay, so let's see if we can make them proportional. So again, I'm going to go into Styles on the right, and this time I'm going to add a field. Okay, now there's lots of fields here that have come around from various things, but the field I need is to do with people. Remember that column I had that had the people count? So I'm just going to search for people, and then I've got origins and destinations. Well, they're the same amounts, weren't they? It doesn't matter which I pick. I'm going to pick origins. Add, and it's going to have a little think, and it's going to suggest that's the best way to present them. Okay, which looks pretty cool. So I know there's lots of people coming from this part of the country. It's even done a key for me, and I can go into Style Options. And if I want to, I can play around with the color. I can change that. I can change the cutoff boundaries. I can even classify the data. Okay, so I can change the amount of categories. At the moment, we've got 4 categories. But if I scroll down, I can actually change them to 5 if I wanted to, and it'll recalculate, and it'll put 5 different categories on. But I must remember to put Done and Done again. Okay, so there we go. I can fiddle around with that all day until I'm happy with it, but that is my my desire line. Okay, so that's a straight line. Right, I'm going to get rid of that. So on the left, I'm going to click the eye, and that disappears, and I'm going to introduce my flow line. So this is where people drove. Let's see if I can make them the same color first of all. So Styles. Now you can see at the top here, this is my desire. Okay, I don't want to play with my desire, do I? I want my flows. So let's close that. I actually have to click the flow here. Did you see that? When you click on the layers, it changes this little blue color here. So click on flow. Okay, and then I'm going to go to location single symbol, so it puts them all the same color. There we go, gray, boring. Line style, let's make them, what should we go for? Let's go for a crazy purple. Okay, slightly thicker on the width. That's a bit of a black, isn't it? That's strange. I need to click on there. There we go. Perfect, done. I can put arrows on if I want. Let's put them on just for the sake of it. And then click done. And there you can see. And then click done again to lock it in. And there you go. All the same color. That's my flow line. That's showing the exact route of where all these people came from to get to Reading. So let's make a proportional flow line. So again, go into styles. Okay. Then I'm going to add a field. And it was people. Doesn't matter which. People. Add. Have a little think, and it'll make a proportional flow line there. And again, if I want to go in to the style, again, I can change the symbol. I can change the colors on there, so they're slightly red. And I can also fiddle around with the mean, median, and mode. I can make them slightly larger and smaller, the maximum, the minimum. I can play around with the categories, how many I've got, but I must click done and done on there. And there, as you can see, that's my proportional flow line. So proportional flow line. Okay, and I can click the eyes, swap them over, and there is my proportional design line. Okay, so I can screenshot that, put it into Word, or I can save it, etc., etc. I can even close the layers down, so I've got one on the screen there. Okay, hope that's helpful. Bye.